Democracy remains under threat in Brazil. Plus, the president of teleSur's responds after Argentina aims to take the channel off the air. Plus, in the United States, Donald Trump's campaign manager arrested. Thanks so much for joining us. For teleSur English, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela for From the South. To begin, Brazil's PMDB Party, former ally to President Dilma Rousseff, has voted to break with the coalition and leave the government. The vote took place in just 3 minutes. PMDB members are now expected to quit all federal offices, and they will not be allowed to use the party's name for political charges. The party will also open ethics procedures against those involved in corruption cases.
Em vídeo, em imagens de teleconferência, ele disse...
A partir de hoje.
From today onwards, in this historic meeting for the PMDB is breaking from President Dilma Rousseff's government.
Meanwhile, teleSur President Patricia Villegas responded today to the announcement by the Argentine government that it is moving to shut down teleSur in Argentina.
It has cost people of the world a lot for information to be seen as a right. We have to continue to fight to ensure that news is not seen as a merchandise.
Journalists, intellectuals, and politicians have also condemned President Mauricio Macri's decision to remove teleSur from Argentina's broadcasting system, arguing it is a politically motivated censorship.
What teleSur broadcasts, what teleSur shows on the screen, the things you see on teleSur are not presented on other channels. The big media in Argentina are not covering what's happening, and teleSur is a very important window for Argentina.
Unfortunately, with these decrees, there has been a massive rollback, because one single person can determine what we watch in Argentina, what we can access and what we can't.
At this moment, it's like we are prisoners and hostages of a monopoly and an authoritarian government.
12 days before the Peruvian presidential elections, candidates are on the offensive there, and some are carrying out some smear campaigns against their competitors. Meanwhile, there's a feeling of uncertainty created by an electoral system that is only aggravating the political crisis. More details from our correspondent now there in Lima.
The leftist candidate Veronica Mendoza is now in third place, and with the momentum at her back, looks poised to potentially enter the runoff. It is a big move for a candidate who just 2 months ago had only 1% of support. Candidates like Pedro Pablo Kuczynski have responded to her quick grow at the polls with insults.
A sort of red candidate who claims to know how to do things, but has not done anything in her bitch's life.
Mendoza is the candidate of leftist coalition Frente Amplio. As the main target of the insults and attacks, she prefers to avoid confrontation. For her, the campaign should be focused on proposals. She has just presented her team and confirmed that one of her main proposals is to change the constitution.
Do we want to continue carrying a constitution that was created by a dictatorship, that was created after a coup d'etat, that was created to guarantee the privileges of the few and hurting the great majority, that today allows for the indiscriminate auction of our resources?
Overall, a discussion over issues is largely absent in the majority of private media, who are also focusing on the attacks and the insults between the candidates. Meanwhile, the National Elections Board will decide by Thursday over a request to exclude the leading candidate, Keiko Fujimori, from the race for presumably handing out money during the campaign. Rael Mora, teleSur, Lima.
And now we go to Rael Mora there in Lima for the latest from the campaign trail there in Peru. He joins us from Lima. Raul, what's the latest there? What can we expect from that ruling on whether Fujimori can stay in the race? Are there any indications of how they might decide that?
Yes, the initial ruling by the Special Elections Board in favor of Fujimori is revealing. It allowed her to continue in the race, even though there was substantial evidence against her. Many analysts are calling the process a type of fraud, and protests are being called expecting that she will also win at the larger board.
What can you tell us about Veronica Mendoza, Rael? She's in third place now. Does she have an actual chance? Could she catch up? What are the polls showing?
Yes, she is the only leftist candidate with a chance of passing to the second round. And historically, candidates in Peru have risen, some candidates have risen from virtually unknown to becoming presidents. So there is a popular saying that anything can happen in Peru. Veronica Mendoza is only 4 points away from the second place, and if she beats that person, she'll be able to go to the second round, and the opposition to Fujimori might make her win, actually. There is a debate this Sunday where there is the first chance that candidates have to expose their views to a large audience in national TV.
Well, that will certainly be interesting to watch. Very close there, Veronica Mendoza, 4 points, you said. So we will continue to keep a close eye on it. Thanks so much from Lima. Moving on now, the hijacker of an Egyptian passenger jet was arrested at Cyprus's Larnaca airport after a 5-hour standoff. Now, according to officials, the man forced a domestic flight to land in Cyprus by using a fake suicide belt. His motives remain unclear, but the Cyprus president said the incident was not terrorism related. No one was hurt in the incident after the man surrendered to authorities. In the United States now, Donald Trump's campaign manager, Cody Larodonsky, has been arrested and charged for battery. Now, he allegedly grabbed and bruised the arm of a reporter at a campaign event on March 8th. The incident there allegedly took place when the reporter, Michelle Fields, tried to question Trump at the event. Police did release a video showing the incident. The FBI in the U.S. says it has successfully hacked into an iPhone used by a gunman in a mass shooting in California in December. The FBI did so without Apple's help, which it had requested under a court order. The U.S. Justice Department has withdrawn that request now. The case drew international attention and highlighted growing friction between government authorities and the tech industry. Police clashed with a group of refugees at the Indomini refugee camp. Refugees have been protesting the closure of the Macedonia border for several days now. A group of them had been blocking the train tracks near the camp, calling for the borders to be opened. Police used batons against the refugees, who responded by throwing rocks towards the line of police. Brussels Airport has set up a makeshift check-in area that could allow for a limited number of passenger flights in the coming days. This follows the airport's closure after the bomb attacks there last Tuesday. A temporary structure has been put up to bypass the departure area that was heavily damaged during the attacks. 7 Somali men are being tried for hijacking a boat belonging to a French couple in 2011. The suspects face life in prison. Now they are charged with hijacking, theft, abduction, and illegal confinement, but they're not charged for murder. The victims were sailing from Yemen to Oman when gunmen seized their ship and, according to a woman there, killed her husband. Pakistan has arrested over 200 people since Sunday for that suicide bombing attack that killed 73 civilians. Police say paramilitary troops and intelligence agents launched over 50 intelligence operations in the last 24 hours in Punjab. For the latest on the conflict in Syria now, we turn to our correspondent.
The city of Palmyra has witnessed a very fierce battle in these last 3 days. As you can see in the camera now, we are standing above the mountain of Palmyra side by side with what happened in the ground. Now the Syrian jets are securing the area around the city, which has become fully under the control of the Syrian army.
Defeating the terrorists today and destroying their spirits and their capability in Palmyra is to defeat everything wrong in the world. The entry of the Syrian Arab army to Palmyra and the restored control of the city and its surroundings is a clear message, like all preceding messages, to other regions, that the Syrian army is able to regain control of any place in Syria without exception.
Russian military presence was clear in Palmyra, where the Russian general staff revealed that members of his country's elite troops have participated in the operation. He also stressed the strategic importance of the liberation of the city of Palmyra in the fight against terrorism.
The operation started from 15 kilometers in the western front of Palmyra. The forces advanced after a preparatory fire with artillery and rockets and with allied support of Russian jets.
The ancient city of Palmyra, a World Heritage Site, was under control of the self-named Islamic State group since the month of May last year. Today it's free again and waiting to have what has been ravaged by terrorists restored. Hazem Abdullah, Palmyra, teleSur's.
Moving on, Baghdad was rocked by a suicide bombing earlier today that killed 7 people and injured 27. The Islamic State group there has claimed responsibility. The United Nations says it is alarmed by the demolitions carried out by the Israeli security forces in the occupied West Bank. Starting in February, a school and many homes were demolished in a village on 3 separate occasions. The Israeli military says it is obeying court orders over unauthorized building in the area. Moving on, the Barcelona Football Club held a memorial ceremony dedicated to Dutch soccer legend Johan Cruyff earlier today. Now, his family was also present. His son thanked fans for their support. The former soccer player died of cancer last Thursday. Saad Ali is on his way to becoming Pakistan's first Formula One driver. This is a daunting task as Pakistan has no racetracks. Another problem for Ali is the fact that all sport sponsorship money is poured into cricket, Pakistan's national obsession. And that's what we're covering today. For more on all of those stories and more, visit our website, telesurtv.net/English. For teleSur English, I'm Cody Weddle. We'll see you back here tomorrow.